Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we have some more Fallout when it comes to the Google Stadia shutdown, and it looks like some developers are trying to make good with their players. And it looks like Microsoft may be giving you the option to disable Quick Resume. We have those topics and more to cover, but before we get started, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell, and we can keep you up to date with gaming news. Now let's get started. First, it looks like gamers were not the only ones that were blindsided by the Stadia shutdown. We have this headline here from Games Radar: indie game developers blindsided by Stadia shutdown. And they've got a whole list here of tweets from developers who just had no clue that this was going to happen. Let's take a look at this first one here from Mike Rose. It says, "We have a game coming to Stadia in November. Who wants to guess that Google will refuse to pay us the money they owe us for it?" And then he had a follow-up saying, "Hours later, I still have no email from Stadia and no clarity on what's happening with our games, deals, anything. Really would have been nice if they'd told partners or even got in contact with us by now." And then we have another one here from Simon Roth. "Oh boy, very happy to see months of my work going down the bin again." And while this is tough, especially for indie developers that may be kind of working on borrowed money in order to finish these projects, we have seen some studios kind of step up and look to help out the consumer. First, we have Ubisoft support here saying, "While Stadia will shut down on January 18th, 2023, we're happy to share that we're working to bring the games you own on Stadia to PC through Ubisoft Connect. We'll have more to share regarding specific details as well as the impact for Ubisoft Plus subscribers at a later date." Now, from everything I can tell at this point, this is not going to be in lieu of you getting a refund. Since Google's handling the refund, it looks like Ubisoft will hopefully give you license to play those games on PC, and it shouldn't cost you anything, but we'll just have to wait and see what actually comes from this. Now, we've had some other studios give some statements and looking at doing something. Here we have IO Interactive: "To all our Hitman fans on Google Stadia, we hear you. We are looking into ways for you to continue your Hitman experience on other platforms." And then we have Destiny Bulletin saying, "Bungie has begun conversations about next steps for Destiny 2 players on Google Stadia. Stay tuned for more updates." So it appears to me that the larger studios were blindsided by this as well, but it looks like they're at least trying to do something to compensate the consumer. And this is obviously one of the pitfalls of a streaming service. If the service goes down, you've just got no way to play those games anymore. At least, let's say with digital downloads, there will be people out there who will figure out how to extract those out and preserve them. But when it comes to streaming, about all you can really do is just record someone else playing it. So from a game preservation standpoint, streaming only is definitely going to be a nightmare if you're wanting to be able to preserve games. Next, it looks like some people who are having issues with Quick Resume on Xbox may have a way to disable that soon. We have a headline here from VGC. Phil Spencer says Xbox will look at letting players disable Quick Resume. And if you're not familiar with Quick Resume, this lets you restore games from a suspended state, so you can basically get right back in where you left off in just a matter of seconds. However, this feature tends to cause problems, especially with online games. But the idea of being able to disable Quick Resume actually comes from Phil Spencer. Let's take a look here at him responding to a tweet. We have this short little tweet thread here in which somebody was talking about how much they liked Quick Resume, and then somebody responded, "Why can't you disable it?" And then they point out it's amazing for a lot of games, but when it tries to Quick Resume an online-only game, it absolutely breaks it and you have to manually quit. And to that, Phil Spencer actually replies, "Good feature ask, makes sense. We will put it on the list of things to look at." Now, putting it on a list to look at doesn't guarantee it'll get done, but I can personally attest to the issue that Quick Resume causes with online games. I play Phantasy Star Online too, and if you don't quit out of that game after playing, the next time you try to get in from a quick resume, the frame rate is like a slideshow. So it would be a nice feature if you could select to turn quick resume off for individual games. Now, I'm not sure of anybody that would want to turn it off across the board, but maybe that's an option as well. Next, we have an interesting Xbox controller color leak out, and this is from a tweet that's translated here in Spanish, and it says, "I think I found an Xbox controller on Amazon that Microsoft hasn't announced yet. Correct me if I'm wrong." And you can see the image down here, it's called Lunar Shift. And then they had a picture of the back of the controller, and it says that it's surreal shimmer and changes color with light and motion. Now, I think this is just done with some kind of passive refracting. I don't think the controller is actively lit up. Now, you've seen devices before that kind of change color depending on the angle of the light on it, and I think this is probably something like that. And unfortunately, the person posting this didn't have a link to the product off of Amazon, so I can't 100% verify this, but it does seem pretty much legit. Nobody has seemed to debunk it yet. And that's all we have for today. Did anything we cover catch your attention? Were you surprised that it seems that Stadia sort of blindsided developers with the announcement of their closing? And would you be able to benefit from being able to disable the quick resume feature on the Xbox? Drop a comment about those topics or anything else we covered today. I want to thank you for watching and be good.